Hello, everyone, and welcome to First Order Movie Reviews. I'm Keo, your host. With me on the show today is Emerson,
Hey, what's up?
and Everett is doing Jewish stuff. You can reach us at firstordermoviereviews at gmail.com and on Instagram at firstorder.moviereviews. If you enjoy the show, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, review our podcast on iTunes so that we can spread the show around. This week, we're going to review Star Wars The Force Awakens, as well as more movie, television, and video game news. Um, so I got elbowed in the face pretty hard today. I have like a giant lip. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm talking.
Oh God.
Can you tell? Can you hear it?
No, you sound fine to me.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you think? Did you like this movie when you first saw it?
Not when I first saw it, I didn't like it, but I liked it a lot more now, and part of that I think is the hype knowing that it's going to be part of a bigger story.
Uh huh. Yeah, I think I would have given it like a C the first time, just because of how safe the movie was and how much it tread on old ground. Like they had a lot of references, and the story structure was very reminiscent to A New Hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean the most obvious comparison is the Star Killer base. So,
How could they make another Death Star?
that's what I'm saying. In this next movie, are they going to have one that can destroy galaxies? Like, come on.
If there's another fucking Death Star in this movie, I might be done. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. They're like, well, it didn't work the first two times, so we're going to do it again. And the New Republic's like, oh, it can't be that bad. We're not concerned with this.
I mean, the movie has so many serious callbacks, like when he's given the droid the data,
Yeah.
Poe. It's like
It's
really, and
literally.
then Rey's like looking up at the sky or some shit like that. She wants to like fly away. It's like,
It,
yeah, I've
it
seen this
does.
movie before.
Yeah. And I understand the idea is to create a callback. I understand they're saying, oh, look at what it used to be, but I don't want to see uh, A New Hope again.
Yeah. So we got like a new look at the Stormtrooper life. What did you think about? I never really liked the clones. I think that was a weird twist. Obviously, the clones have died out by the time you get to um, episode 4. Like
Well,
there's not many clones
in
left, I
the
assume.
expanded universe, what happens is like there's some sort of rebellion, so they stop using clones and they start using just normal recruits. Is what I've
Okay.
read.
And this is like another generation removed from that, so I guess they are breeding recruits now.
I don't know about breed. They're like brainwashed and like they're taken as children and
Yeah,
turned
maybe.
into.
Maybe they're taking his children.
Yeah.
Um, so by the way, I've been thinking that I think I'm gonna change our name again.
Okay.
Because like I wanted to say superhero movies in the title, so we might change the name. But that brings me to the next point that where did the First Order come from?
I don't know. Well, so they're supposed to be like I know when I was reading about it, they're supposed to be one of the things they kept saying is that oh, what if the Nazis had escaped to Argentina and kept fighting from there? They're supposed to be like the remnants, the consolidated remnants of the empire. But why are they called the First Order?
Yeah, yeah, and didn't what's his name? What is the guy's name? That Dumbhall
Finn?
Gleason? No, Dumbhall Gleason, the Hitler-like guy.
Snoke?
No, his
Oh,
other
the
guy.
general. The general. I don't remember.
What is his name?
Um,
Hux, General Hux. Um, like, doesn't he make that weird speech that's like Hitler-like? And doesn't he say something about how the Empire sucks? He was like a.
yeah, he was saying like it wasn't strong. I think it was supposed to be like that the First Order is better than the Empire.
I mean, it's essentially the Empire. Like, I don't know. Do you feel like this is a different entity?
Well, okay, from what I've read, supposedly they have like better stormtroopers and better ships because they have less of them, but they seem to act the exact same way and they're just as inefficient. So,
Yeah, the Empire. It's literally the Empire. Like, they're back. I don't. It doesn't even have to be a new name. Like, for me, the Empire was this vast, like, organization, whatever. So you're telling me there's a section of the Empire called the First Order? I just believe that. I don't need, like, this to me is the same exact thing.
yeah, they don't have anything that really sets them apart.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's it, really. And then they do the Death Star again, and it's like, come on.
If they had
Um,
if they had done like big fleet tactics, like maybe we see like hit and run, occupation, maybe something new, then I wouldn't be opposed to them being new. But
right, right. Um, so that guy, Max von Sydow, I think is the actor's name, the old guy in the beginning who has the clue to Luke's whereabouts. We never find out what he really is.
no, we
Was he
don't.
one of Luke's students or something? He's older than Luke.
I had honestly completely forgotten about him until I rewatched it. I just remember the
Yeah,
stormtrooper fight at the beginning. That's about it.
I mean, he's a pretty big actor. I feel like there's more to him. I wonder if we'll ever see that guy. Did he die in this? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Like, did he die
Uh,
on
mm,
screen?
mm, he
I wonder if
may
we'll see
have.
more of him. I mean, he was like in the script readings. There was a set photo. He was there, and it's like
Yeah, he does
he's there with
die.
Harrison Ford. Does he? I mean, it seems like there was more to that character that we just didn't get to see.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Kylo Ren?
I really, really hated him at first. Um, but I've grown to like him more. But a lot of that comes from the fact that in the trailers for The Last Jedi, he looks like he's gonna actually be a better character. But he's hyped up to be really strong. Then he gets defeated by spoilers by the way. He gets defeated by Rey, and he acts like a little kid.
He's a little petulant, yeah. Um, so this is interesting for me because when we were born, obviously Star Wars was already a giant hit. And like you knew that Darth Vader was Luke's father before you even knew what Star Wars was, you know?
Yeah.
And so this has already all been established and whatever. We're seeing they're trying to do it again. Is Kylo Ren on the same level as Vader to you?
No.
Is he as interesting?
I don't know. He should be interesting, especially with his backstory. He's the
He might
son
be, yeah.
of he's the son of Han and Leia. He was trained by Luke. He got turned. He killed the like new Jedi that Luke was trying to create. He should be really interesting, but he doesn't really feel that interesting in this movie.
Hmm. I liked his initial thing when he froze the blaster.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Um, and then I liked his interaction with Finn at the beginning, and I didn't really. He was okay the rest of the time. Um, when his biggest, I would say his lowest point is when Adam Driver reveals his face.
Yeah.
I remember being in the theater and I didn't really know Adam Driver at that point. Like he's a normal looking actor, but he has a weird looking face. Like it just, if you look at him like big picture, it's not that weird. But when you wear like all black and then he wears a mask for most of the movie and then he takes that mask off, it's a little this
Yeah.
jarring, right? And he looks a little strange. He's got a really long face, big lips, big nose. It's just odd because like you're gonna be focusing on his face, and he has a weird face in that sense. Like some faces are not a big deal, and his is very unique. And I remember just like when he took the mask off, I'm like, he should put the mask back on.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I'm also more used to his face now, though. That's the other thing is I've seen him
Yeah.
in more stuff. I've seen him in Girls. I saw him in Logan Lucky. So I'm more used to his face. I've seen him in all the promotional images. I've seen him on action figures. So I don't know. Um, yeah, I thought his fight with Rey at the end was decent. One
It,
of the
it
better
was
lightsaber
it was
battles,
it
right?
was definitely good, but the issue I have with it is that why I understand that she's like in touch with the Force, so she's able to beat him. But I don't like that. It made me feel like he's not a real villain, not a threat.
It establishes her as a hero. I don't know. I
But then
mean,
but
she's clearly more powerful than he is.
that's what I'm saying. So how I won't feel that tension. Are they going to go up against each other again? Can she beat him?
Well, it seems like maybe they'll join forces. I think
Yeah,
he's
but
gonna redeem himself and then die. That's what I see for him.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that he becomes the good guy and she becomes evil. That would be cool.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second. I think that the trailers are a total swerve and that she's not gonna join him at all. He might join them, and I really like the idea that Luke is not what you would expect him to be, but I hope they stick with that and that he doesn't get a turn. I think I told you before that if anything, I feel like Rey would be tricking Kylo into joining forces so that she could bring him to Luke.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so about Snoke, do you think that maybe Snoke has history with Luke and that's how he got his face messed up?
I mean, that could definitely be it. I've seen all sorts of weird theories about who Snoke is. One of them, I'd like to point out, is that it's Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the lightsaber lights up and it's purple and you're like, oh shit?
Yeah. um, I feel like Luke has to have some major history. I know he has it with Kylo Ren, but I feel like the movie isn't going to. I don't know if that's enough for the movie
Yeah.
because it's like he killed Han Solo, and what is Luke's gonna say? Hey, you bad kid! Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. He did the whole thing with the Jedi temples, or I mean, whatever Luke's
Yeah, it was a new
school was.
temple.
Yeah, but it's like, what is Luke gonna say to him at this point? I don't find that to be the most. That can't be the third act. I feel like the third act is Luke and Snoke, and then we'll see where Rey and Kylo fall. Um, they also say that we're definitely gonna know where Rey is comes from, her parentage, after seeing the Last Jedi.
I think maybe she'll come from someone evil.
Here's the thing. She went in an interview and said, there hasn't been a single theory that I've read that has been correct. And then she went on to say that she has only read one theory, and that it was like a force ghost type thing, or force birth, like the way Anakin was, something
Yeah.
like that. And she's like, it wasn't that. And then the guy's like, well, what about Obi-Wan? And she's like, what? That I'm Obi-Wan? She's like, no, that you're the granddaughter of Obi-Wan. She's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
That sounds like that's it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
See,
I
I
would
was
love
hoping
that. Obi-Wan is my favorite.
I like Obi-Wan a lot too, but I was hoping I thought it was going to be like a duality where Kylo came from the good guys, quote unquote, and turned evil, and she came from the evil and turned good.
That's certainly a way to go. But it's like, who's the evil? So they had that theory, and which I haven't even touched Star Wars Battlefront. What a waste of money. Um, I do like the Starfighter Assault, but so apparently in the campaign they suggest that she's Rey's mom.
Yeah, the Imperial Commando or whatever.
That would be interesting if less interesting about like having that character development, but more interesting that they would reveal that in a video game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, who? No one's gonna know who that character is unless they play the campaign, which most people didn't buy it for a campaign.
Yeah, and also most people didn't buy it because they boycotted it.
Yeah. So in that initial scene, when Kylo captures Poe, don't you find it a little weird the way Poe talks to him?
Like
Where he's
familiar,
like, "Who talks first? Do I talk first? Do you talk first?"
familiar, and like a little too much humor for what should
Yeah,
be
for
a
the
really
moment.
scary situation.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's Oscar Isaac not playing it well, but I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think it was just bad
They were
writing.
trying to establish him. They're like, oh, we're going to have to establish him as a swashbuckling hero. Let's make him not scared at all. But I would have preferred him to be scared because then I would have taken Kylo a lot more
Yeah.
seriously.
And he doesn't have that same witty wit the rest of the movie. He's just like kind of a gung ho fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Captain Phasma, what a joke.
Yeah. They hyped her up so much in the trailers.
The next Boba Fett.
Uh,
Don't think so.
What is-
Well, let's see what they do with her this time around.
Yeah, wait. Okay, they're hyping her up a little bit now.
She's in the trailer fighting Finn. Yeah. I don't have high hopes for that. So, anyway. You know what I really liked was Rey's theme. Her theme song.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, you're more capable of identifying music, like good music
Oh.
in video games than I am. I'm a little more focused in.
Yeah, like that scene where she's scavenging, you hear the theme, her theme. It's like a little
Oh yeah, I know what
tricksterish.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that theme. Did you cringe a little bit when they're like, "My name's FN." He's like, "FN? I'm not calling you that. I'll call you Finn." And he's like, "Finn it is." It's like, okay, why don't you just give him a name or something? I don't know.
I saw
a
a
weird way to
comic where
do
the
it.
where the guy's like, "My name is FN," and he's like that, and he says they have the whole exchange, and then it's like, "Does this remind you of anything?" And then it's like a scene from like some slavery movie where they rename the slave, and I was like, okay.
I thought Finn was likable overall.
Yeah, and they set him up as the love interest, which surprised me.
Yeah, what got me on board with him was like his constant hand holding. I thought he was just funny.
Yeah.
Funny, likable guy. But yeah, so they're not in love. Like, it sets them up as the love interest, and then they end as friends. Like, doesn't she specifically call him a friend when he's passed
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
So,
But see, that's weird because initially I expected it was going to be Poe, but then it wasn't. And then I
He's
was
a
like,
little
oh,
bit
they're
older.
setting up Finn, not Finn. It could be Kylo.
no, they are definitely setting up Kylo as the love interest, I think. Or maybe a love triangle thing. Who knows? Maybe Finn will be banging Phasma in the next one.
What the fuck?
With that fucking bucket on her head. um, so this Chewbacca doesn't feel like Chewbacca to me at all,
No, not at all.
and I don't like. I feel like he should have some gray hair, and he looks like younger. His hair
Yeah.
is shinier.
Because they've made the special effects have improved to the point where they can now, like, he does look better.
Like, this isn't Chewie. This is Chewie's son or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
about
know.
this is Chewbacca. And
No.
why wouldn't they make him age? He's supposed to be a dog. That
Yeah,
means he would have died a
basically.
long time ago. You know how old he is? He was in Revenge of the Sith with Yoda.
I know. He's been around, and he didn't warn people for shit. That means he knew
How
so
many?
much information.
Yeah, and then he just like man, talk about a low expectation. Like you've been around that long, and the most you ever did was become a smuggler. Um, and like he can't live that long. How many people over 6'7" do you know that are over age 80? Like tall people don't live that long. He's a tall creature. He
Yeah, he
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 was
should
dead.
die.
Yeah. Okay. And then speaking of that, I feel like after Han gets killed, I may have told you this before, but you know how he talks about in the first one, uh, Chewbacca ripping off the arm of a stormtrooper in
Yeah.
Episode 4? It's like we should have seen that. After Han gets killed, I want to see Chewbacca go berserk and just wrecking people, and then they surround him and gun him down as well. Because what is he? What is his purpose now? He's a pet for Rey. Is that what's going on?
And Ray has another pet based on the trailers.
Yeah, you don't even need Chewbacca, and Chewbacca's with Han. Now Han's gone. Why do you have Chewbacca?
They're
Did
just
you
doing
care at
fan
all?
service.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe they felt like you couldn't kill Han and Chewbacca in the same scene. I'm like, of course you can. That's just me. Um, did you care about the controversy about how Leia, when Han dies and they get off the ship, and like Chewbacca is walking towards her and she walks right past him and hugs Rey? It's
Wait,
like Rey barely knew him.
there was controversy about that?
Well, they're just like, why the fuck would she hug Rey instead of Chewbacca? Like she's been through
Ah,
a
yeah,
lot with
that's a
Chewbacca.
fair point. What the fuck?
He's his life. He was Han's life partner, and it's just like, oh yeah, let me hug the main character here because she's more important. Which
He
kind of
sh-
proves my point that they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Chewbacca. He's not even a real
yeah,
character.
yeah. It's fan service.
Yeah. Um. So what do you think Chewbacca's role in the sequels is going to be? Like, is he going to die? He needs to
I
die.
hope so, but I feel like they're gonna make him like he's definitely gonna be piloting the Millennium Falcon around a lot.
I want them to give him like the most poetic death, where no one can understand what the fuck his last words are, and he'll just like be bleeding out in Ray's arms, and they're trying to like help him and make him comfortable, and no one knows what he needs, and he's just like struggling to communicate, and then he dies.
That's so sad. Oh my god.
um, so Ray has Anakin's lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
So this is a little annoying for me because, like, action figure wise, I bought the Luke Skywalker figure from this movie with his beige robes. I feel like they're more regal. I like that. His new look is like black robes, but he looks like he's out of like straight from The Hobbit or something, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good. So with that new figure, the Last Jedi figure, it doesn't come with a lightsaber, which means that he's not using it in the movie. I mean, sorry, it does come with the lightsaber, but it's Anakin's lightsaber. It's not his green one from Return of the Jedi. So we don't know where that one is. It's kind of annoying for me as an action figure collector because I'm gonna have to like somehow find another green lightsaber. I feel
Yeah.
like he should have his green lightsaber, you know. Um, but yeah, so I guess he may not be wielding a saber in this one. Who knows? But not
That
the green
limits
one.
what he can be doing.
It's not going to be the green one. My favorite part of the trailer for the new one is when he's like, "This is not going to go the way you think." I like that a lot. I like the whole context and concept of that. Just that you expect Luke Skywalker and he's like, I don't know what world you're living in, but this is the real world." I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
hope he's not just like a total coward and he's just like, "No, not the Force," and that's like his one note thing the whole movie,
Well,
and it's like, and then at the end he uses the Force, you know.
Okay, there was a theory based off the posters for the movie. He appears on the dark side poster.
On the dark side as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So one
It's
of the
cool.
theories is that
I hope we got something.
he might be like trying deciding he wants to kill the Jedi and the Sith by the like at some point in the movie, like they all just need to die.
I kind of wonder. I don't think he's gonna die, but I think he's gonna be a villain.
Yeah. Hell, he might even work with
Like,
Snoke at the end. Snoke and
like
him
not a
versus
villain,
Rey
but
and
I think he'll be an antagonist for Rey, and his like poor guidance may send her to the dark side. I don't know.
that'd be cool.
I also don't believe Rey it would be like so power hungry that she'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna disobey Luke Skywalker so I can get that power." But I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. There's a whole movie to see, and so, um, why? In order to kill Han Solo, why did Kylo have to fake liking Han again, or was it fake?
That well,
Like
first
he
of all,
could
the
have just
scene,
stabbed him at any point,
yeah,
right? He
the
didn't have
scene
to
itself
play
is
around.
just to screw with the audience, obviously. Like, oh, it's
But
heartfelt, they're
you know
reuniting,
it's
and then he
coming.
betrayed. You know it's coming, yeah. But that's why they did it. I don't think he needed to fake like him. Maybe he clearly felt strongly about it, regardless.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what else? So yeah, I have in my notes another Death Star, but this time it's bigger. So did you know Daniel Craig was in this movie?
Yeah, doesn't he play one of the stormtroopers?
He plays the stormtrooper that Rey uses the Jedi mind trick on. Um, Another one is the Resistance theme. If you do you remember that when the
Yes, yes.
starfighters, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one a lot too. It almost sounds like a villain theme, but
Yeah.
it's a little. It has some upbeat notes. This movie was so family friendly. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's that part on the Millennium Falcon where it's almost a comedy. Like they're crawling underneath the shafts or whatever, and someone mentions the two fugitives, Ray and Finn, and they look at each other like fugitives, us. The tone is like so over the top, family friendly that it's almost a comedy at some points.
Yeah.
I don't think The Last Jedi is going to be like that.
No, it looks much darker.
And then, all right, I mean, one last thing I have to point out. Um, Kylo punching himself when he's bleeding.
Yeah.
Don't really know what that's about. If I had to guess, I would say that was added in and written by a guy who does not know anything about fighting or pain and thinks that that's like a badass thing to do to like punch your wound to like make the pain go away.
Oh God.
Like you know when
Yeah.
something like hurts and you like slap it,
Yeah.
but when you're bleeding, punching the wound is not your way of getting
It's a
through
poor
it.
choice, to say the least.
I mean, he looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He's like punching himself. Like he's fighting his wound.
He's at war with himself. He's tearing himself apart.
And the movie thinks he's stupid because every time he does it, Ray or Finn just sort of like stops and lets him do it. Like, what is this guy doing? This is not what
Yeah, I
happens in
know.
a fight. Like they all just kind of pause like,
They're self-aware.
Um so who do you think is going to die in The Last Jedi? Anybody?
Leia.
You think they might rewrite that? She was supposed to be a 9 as in well Daisy Ridley said that her goodbye in this movie was a goodbye, but they didn't know it yet. But it definitely feels like a goodbye. So I feel like they're gonna start episode 9 with her funeral.
Yeah. I think she's
Um,
gonna die. I hope Chewbacca dies. I think Captain Phasma may die.
if they really don't know what to do with her, I guess they'll just Dude, she gave up so easy in this movie.
Yeah, I
I was
know.
And she was stupid. Like the way
What
she
is
was
her
talking, like her
role?
logic.
Yeah, I know. What is her role?
I don't know.
She's like an enforcer almost, but she's
Okay,
bad at it.
imagine an army with infrastructure where they have one specialized soldier, just one, and it's Captain Phasma who gives up that easily. It's like what? Yeah, what role could that possibly be? It's like she's wearing a fucking costume. Like that's not even a soldier. It's just a costume.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the lady from Game of Thrones, Gwendolyn. I
You
forget
wouldn't
Lady
know.
Tarth.
You wouldn't know. She never does anything. Mask never comes
Yeah,
off. She doesn't have any. I don't know. Whatever.
yeah. I wonder. Um, all right. So that's about all I have for this movie. I am getting pretty hyped for it though.
I am also.
Um, I don't know if I told you. So I have a wrestling match Thursday night. I originally had tickets for 9 p.m. and so I'm gonna end up seeing it at midnight, 12:30
And then
that
the next
Thursday.
day.
Well, the next day I have work, but it's a wrestling tournament, and that's the reason why I have to see. I hate that they keep releasing them this weekend every year because
You're
every
always
year
away.
this weekend I'm at Rosemead. Yeah, and so I'm on my phone all day. People were spoiling it last time. I knew about Han Solo's death before I went in. I don't want that to happen again. And I don't want that to happen with any of the big movies that we see, but this one especially because I always feel like there's some twist in these movies.
Yeah.
Ever since you find out that Darth Vader was Luke's father, you don't want that to be spoiled. So, um, it's I'm gonna go see it 12:30, and then I'm gonna go to the tournament all day Friday, and then I'm gonna probably be at the tournament Saturday. I'm seeing it again Saturday night, so maybe either Sunday morning or Saturday night we can do our review of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on here. Some news. So Christopher Nolan is going to direct. Well, I don't know if it's a done deal, but he's basically said that he's going to do it. Christopher Nolan will direct Daniel Craig's last film in Bond 25.
That should be good.
Oh, it will definitely be good. He was talking about doing that since Batman Begins. He wanted to do James Bond one. Fantastic, but he was talking about revitalizing the character, making a different incarnation, and it's also Daniel Craig's last film. So it's like, how are you gonna change
Make it
when
new.
it's the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about last week how John Hamm and Jake Gyllenhaal are the front runners to replace Ben Affleck?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So yeah, John Hamm is my choice for an older Batman. But to be honest, I'd rather they go with Jake Gyllenhaal because he's a bit younger. An update on the Disney and Fox deal. Comcast has officially pulled out of the bidding, leaving only Disney. So it's happening. We're gonna get
That's
X-Men.
and
We're gonna
Fantastic
get Fantastic
Four.
Four. So
Yeah.
there's some rumor that says Fantastic Four. The rights are actually owned by Constantine Films, and the distribution is by Fox. But it's not like Constantine Films is not going to get in the way of this at this point.
They're too small
So,
to counter Disney.
yeah, yeah, I don't care about that at all. Did you see the Jessica Jones season 2 trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It's not bad. It's a lot of like nothing. It's just her, like with her camera, wisecracking, and you don't really see much. It's not a great trailer. Nothing really happens, but it's coming in March, so
Huh.
there's that. Um, Jurassic World. Did you see the trailer for that?
Yes, I did. It was not good.
Okay, so the interesting thing about this trailer is that they say that everything in this trailer is from the first 50 minutes, and you haven't seen anything else. So that's good. That's a great practice. But I will say that I was surprised by how many, like the wrestlers on the team, the younger kids, they were all really hyped for this. They're like, the trailer's out. all over my Facebook feed. People were posting the trailer, and I don't like the first Jurassic World was great, and I don't really remember second and third one except like one scene in the third one where the T-Rex eats a family's dog. Um, and then, Jurassic World was a decent movie, right?
Yeah, it was good. I wouldn't call it amazing, but I enjoyed it. I was
I barely
excited for the
care.
trailer, but then when I saw it, I was like, this is weird.
I don't care at all, really. I mean, I'll see it, but the trailer didn't do much for me. And they need animatronics. I don't want to see the CGI things. I've seen dinosaurs already. I want them to be real. I want to feel like, holy shit, these dinosaurs are real. When they're just CGI, my mind knows it at this point. I've seen so much CGI. It doesn't feel like anything to me at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just we've been numbed to it.
Yeah. Desensitized.
Yeah.
So their Spider-Man: Homecoming sequel is casting for Gwen Stacy, and there's a leaked audition tape of a young French actress who doesn't look anything like Gwen Stacy, and so there's a rumor that they're gonna like change it up because they like that actress, and she's gonna be like a foreign exchange student.
I'd be okay with that. I don't believe they have to be die hard by the comics.
Yeah, well, I mean MJ is weird, so whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so the Venom movie, they are taking from two stories called Lethal Protector and Planet of the Symbiotes. I'm going to read this from slashfilm.com. A refresher course, Venom, Lethal Protector, was a 1993 limited series by David Michelin with art by Mark Bagley, Ron Lim, and Sam De La Rosa. This was the series that marked Venom's return from ambiguous villain to full-fledged antihero, with Eddie Brock's Venom striking a deal with Peter Parker to leave each other alone before embarking to San Francisco. There, Venom ends up teaming up with Spider-Man to defeat 5 new offspring of the Venom symbiote: Scream, Phage, Riot, Lasher, and Agony. So that's
That
something.
does not. Okay.
Yeah, in Planet of the Symbiotes, I'm not into the more symbiotes thing. I like Carnage. That's about as far as I'll go. In Planet of the Symbiotes, published 2 years later and penned again by Michelin, Earth is invaded by an army of symbiotes, forcing Venom, Spider-Man, and Scarlet Spider to team up to stop them and investigate a series of murders that Venom believed himself to have committed. Carnage makes an appearance too, bonding with the released serial killer Cletus Cassidy. That I like the Carnage part. I don't really care about
The
the
planet
symbiote
of the
army.
symbiote. Both of those sound
Yeah.
pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some cool action figures out of it, and that's about it for me. Um, okay. So, Hugh Jackman said once that he would return. Shut up. Said that he would return to the Avengers. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. I heard.
Oh, they
I
have
just heard
stupid
what you
autoplay on this. Um, he would return for the Avengers if they crossed over to the MCU. So he said some comments about it, and wow, they're really gonna make me watch the video instead of. Okay, so here are his comments. He said, "Every time I saw an Avengers movie, I could just see Wolverine in the middle of all of them, punching them all in the head. But it was like, oh, well, that's not going to happen." And it was interesting. Just when I first saw that headline, it was just a he's talking about the Disney Fox merger. It was just a possibility of it, and who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, I was like, hang on. But I think, unfortunately, the ship has sailed for me. But for someone else, I would like to see Wolverine in there. So,
I think
yeah.
that's a pretty accurate statement.
Yeah, it's over. He's too old. They're going to reboot. So did you see the new Spider-Man animated movie trailer with Miles
Yeah,
Morales
I did.
and like the super multiverse? All right, I mean, I'll watch it. I
It
don't like
doesn't appeal to me.
when you oversaturate it. It's like if for people who don't know, there's multiple Spider-Man in this for some reason, and whatever reason, blah 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 blah. And I don't know. I don't really care. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. I really don't know. I'll probably wait for some reviews before I like put any money towards that. Mark Hamill talked about how he felt like George Lucas could have been more involved in the new trilogy. He said, "What I wish is that Disney had been more accepting of his guidance and advice, because he had an outline for 7, 8, and 9, and it is vastly different to what they have done." Where's the rest of the quote? "But then again, I don't want to be an old stick in the mud. There were the originals, there's the prequels, but that's all George. And now we have the next generation, and as far as I can see, they are more popular than ever." I think it's best that George Lucas stepped away.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know why he thinks anyone would be in agreement.
Yeah, no one's asking for George to come back. I mean, I still feel like Revenge of the Sith is a decent flick, but not the other two. The other two, aside from Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, young Obi-Wan, I like Qui-Gon too, but even Qui-Gon, it's like some of the writing is just really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Daisy Ridley talked about how she's looking forward to taking a break after episode 9, and that she said that she kind of suggested that she was done playing Rey after episode 9. And, it's a pretty fast schedule. Like, when you look at the originals, the original trilogy, there were years between the movies, And here, it's like,
Boom, boom, boom.
they're filming one after another, But she recently came out and clarified that she's still open to returning, and she doesn't know what they're doing. We know that Rian Johnson is creating another trilogy that's not based on the Skywalker stuff. It's going to be in the past, it seems like, with other characters. For me, I'd like for them to wait to come back to these characters. Let them age a little more. Let them move on in life a little bit. If they
Instead
could
of
wait
rushing it.
20 years to bring back Rey, I mean, I could be interested in that.
Yeah.
You might have to make some other movies in the meantime, though. And I don't know that the Star Wars lore is that deep. Like, I know that there are diehard people. I don't know that you can make a whole new trilogy on stuff that's not relevant to the
The
main
main
fight.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so besides that, I don't really have anything else. We're getting texts from Fowler and Drew saying, "Do you want to play Wildlands?" So,
I played
oh yeah, we should talk about.
PlayerUnknown.
Oh yeah, how's that? How is that?
I really enjoy it. Now, I don't know. It's Xbox One X enhanced. I'm not sure what that means. Everett and Trevor enjoy it. They also say, like, "Oh, it's hard for me to aim," but then again, it's a game.
Did you say it's hard for you to aim? You got a
That's
little
what-
robotic there.
Sorry about that. Trevor and well, it definitely is. There's no aim assist, so
Okay.
fighting at close range like Wildlands is insane. But I really enjoy it. It's tense. You find weapons and clothing. You arm yourself. You can customize your weapons as you find things to customize them. It's hard. But when you kill someone, you really feel satisfied. It's very similar to Ghost Recon Wildlands in a lot of ways.
All right. I might have to check that out. What about this GTA update? What have they done?
So they have continued down the road of pure insanity. Thus far, they have added the flying DeLorean that also is aquatic. It shoots missiles and guns. They've added a V-22 Osprey, that's a dual-rotor helicopter. They added a stealth helicopter that makes you invisible on the map. They added a stealth tank with a railgun on it, with 2 automatic grenade launchers and a machine gun. They added a truck with a ton of rocket. It's insane. And they're all expensive as hell. Yeah, but I will say this about the V-22 Osprey. So you can put it on autopilot, and it'll fly itself. it'll just stay in a position. And while that's happening, you can go into the cargo hold, which is a fully developed area with like seats you can sit in, computers you can work on. So that could be useful for something. It's kind of cool, I have to admit. And you can drop vehicles from the back of the cargo hold while it's on autopilot. So
So basically, it's like gotten out of control. Is
yeah,
what you're saying. Well, the script for Coyote Crew 10 is almost done.
and well, I don't know how much of this stuff, if any, you would ever want to use. I'm futuristic movie, plenty, um, or a police movie, but yeah, it's you'll see when you play next.
All right, all right. So that's all I got for this week.
Yeah, same here.
The Force Awakens is a good movie, but honestly, I don't know. It didn't really. It wasn't groundbreaking. I think they were so focused on just sticking the landing and ushering in a new era of Star Wars that we finally get another movie to start propelling ourselves forward. Hopefully, there's this this Last Jedi will not just be like callbacks to Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean?
Hopefully, although they do
Yeah.
seem in some of the trailers you can see them.
Well, Empire Strikes Back is famous for um, like being the one where the good guys lose, like it's a dark movie, and so that's like anytime you have a darker sequel, people compare it to Empire Strikes Back. This is definitely a darker sequel, even just from the trailer, like you know it's going to be. So, but I hope that they can do better than that. Better than
All
just
right.
like treading old ground, you know.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, so
Okay.
that's it. We'll see you guys next week, or not next week, but Saturday, maybe Sunday for The Last Jedi. You ready?
Yep.
All right, see you later.
Bye.